Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra, our all-weather streaming show that airs exclusively on your streaming platforms. You can catch us every night at 6:30 after Fox 6 News. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan, filling in for Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt this evening. We've been having some very cold weather today, hashtag sweater weather. So as we go into the overnight hours, it's still going to be chilly. You want to make sure you have that heat on tonight and have that pair of socks on before you crawl under the covers. But we do have a warm up in the forecast. Let's get right to it and look at those current temperatures. So we'll go over the 7-day forecast in just a second. But first, I want to show you just what those temperatures are doing right now. Pretty chilly. I mean, check it out. We're already down into the 30s across northwest Alabama, 37 in Hamilton, 37 in Haleyville, 39 in Coleman, and 39 in Jasper. You can see some spots are still in the 40s, so a little bit of a mixed bag. Regardless of whether you're in the 40s or the 30s, it's certainly going to be chilly outside this evening. So make sure you have that warm jacket. If you haven't left the office yet and you're headed home, make sure you have those gloves on too, because you know the steering wheel, not so fun this time of the year. But as far as that First Alert Zapcast, if you're like me, you just touch basically anything and you immediately get shocked. So I think the zaps will be improving as we get into the weekend. What's going to happen for tomorrow is we're going to see a shift in wind direction. We've been having that dry northerly wind in place, and that's been pulling in that drier air, hence why you've been getting zapped here and there. But we see that shift to winds more out of the south and east tomorrow. That's going to pull in some moisture and is going to kick off a more unsettled weather pattern for us here in central Alabama, a pattern that is likely going to stay into next week. So we may have to deal with some rain, but at least we're not going to be dealing with the zap. So we can't win everything, but we'll take what we can get. Here's that bus stop forecast for in the morning, though. Definitely need to make sure the kids have on the warm jacket and still the gloves. I don't think the winds are going to be too bad early on, but a breeze is going to be picking up later in the day. Like I mentioned, we're going to be seeing those southeast winds back in place, coming in at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And because we are going to see that shift in wind direction, not only is there going to be just a little bit more moisture coming in, but we are going to get a touch warmer. Instead of highs in the 50s like we saw today, highs in the 60s. So the kids can probably shed that outer layer by the afternoon as we begin to thaw out a little bit. Now, as we get later into the day tomorrow, we're going to see some more clouds moving in. And that's all, again, a sign of that more unsettled pattern that's going to be taking over by the time we get into the weekend. So we think of Friday more as a transition day. So let's look at that futurecast here over the next 48 hours. The clouds that we're seeing here right now, they're those thin, wispy clouds. You saw some sunshine today, but it was almost like there was a veil over the sky. So getting in on some of that filtered sunshine. As we go into your Friday morning, we'll see a little bit of clearing overnight, but still some more clouds moving in tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of a shower until maybe we get into Friday later in the day. You'll notice our futurecast here is picking up on maybe some stray sprinkles along that I-22 corridor in northwest Alabama. Most of us should be staying dry though, but check it out at lunchtime on Friday. Already seeing some spots in our southern counties south of I-20 getting into the 60s. So a few sprinkles possible, but I think the best chance for rain is actually going to be moving in as we get into tomorrow night. So for any high school football playoffs, should be looking good, but definitely could see once we get past 9-10 o'clock some showers moving in from the northwest. It's going to be very light rain, and then these will gradually push off to the south and east because we've got another cold front that's going to be coming through. So out ahead of that front, some shower activity as you go into tomorrow night. Hey, if you don't have any plans for your Friday night, just going to be heading to bed early. That rain, that little bit of light rain is just going to be nice to lull you to sleep. And then by the time you wake up on Saturday morning, I still think there's going to be at least some scattered light rain showers around. And Saturday morning, also temperatures going to be in the 50s, so a little mild, but notice as we get to around mid-morning Saturday at 9 a.m., we begin to see some clearing in northwest Alabama and then scattered showers pushing south and east of the I-20-59 corridor by the late morning hours, and then we begin to dry out by lunchtime. This is one of our high resolution models, getting that new data in, so it doesn't look like it's going to be raining all day on Saturday. Right now, I would say likely that best time is going to be during the morning, but we'll be keeping an eye on it for you in the coming days. So not just for you. We always got to look out for the pups too and the felines. Cat lady here. Look over the next several days what happens. Do you need to keep a towel by the door for Friday? You'll be fine, but we know we don't want to upset the princess paws in your family. Check it out on Saturday. We do have that scattered light rain. I think most of us probably won't be seeing more than 1/5 of an inch of rain going into Saturday, but we do keep rain chances elevated until next week. I'm not saying any day is going to be a washout, but kind of off and on rain chances here and there. As we look into the work week next week, looks like maybe on Monday is when we could see that better coverage of some rain showers going into early next week. And if you're looking for some warm sunshine, well, today, in case you forgot, is the start of meteorological winter. It is December 1st, so that may be a little harder to come by, but we know everything is possible. Anything is possible here in Alabama. But coming up on Weather Extra, we are covering not just the rain, but we have an update on drought conditions as well. And then meteorologist Tania Brown gives us an update on the storm surveys that have been going on with the tornadoes that happened about 48 hours ago. First Alert Weather Extra, we'll be right back.
Adopt an angel and help a child in need.
We're making it easy this holiday season for you to give back through the WBRC Fox 6 News Gifts for Kids Salvation Army Angel Tree program.
There are many ways you can adopt an angel now through December 5th.
In person at the outlet shops at Grand River or the River Chase Galleria.
Online at birminghamsalvationarmy.org.
At participating Chick-fil-A Stuff the Bus location.
Or the Walmart online registry.
For more information, visit WBRC.com and our WBRC News app.
Donate today.
The Birmingham Waterworks story is one we've been on for years and breaking some stories lately that are getting some results. Starting with the Waterworks Board deciding they may not raise your rates as much as they had first thought because of pushback from ratepayers based on our reporting. And then with the attention we brought to this, the Attorney General's office is stepping in, demanding hundreds of pages of documents before the utility does anything about raising your rates. We've been on your side on this story. We'll stay on your side. You stay with us on our WBRC News app.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your first alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We obviously got some decent rainfall over the past couple days. Today's been dry. Yesterday was dry, but Tuesday, some spots got a lot of rain. Let's check in with Matt and Mickey for an update.
Well, we are into the month of December, and you know what? December should be this cold. It's the first day of December, and just 24 hours ago we were in the 60s, and we start out this morning in the 20s to 30s.
And it's appropriate because it's meteorological
Yeah.
winter, which we discussed yesterday in some confusion. But let's talk about some average high temperatures for the months, of course. And now that we're in December, our average high should now drop to about 57 degrees, Mickey.
Which is one of the cooler months of the year. You can fast forward to January, and average highs are in the mid-50s, and average lows, typically it's January and December where you're going to have some of the coldest air, well, February as well. That's why December, January, and February are called winter.
Yeah, meteorological winter. So yeah, now we go from our average lows around the lower 40s to the upper 30s going into the month of December. So what about the rainfall? Well, you know, usually September, October are fall months. Those are drier months. But now that we're going into the winter months, it starts to get a little wetter. Notice our average rainfall for December getting closer to 5 inches.
Yeah, that's Birmingham amounts. Typically it's 4.87. And just due to that last little swell of rain that we had just the other day, 5.5, 5.61 to be exact.
Yeah, so pretty impressive. Here's a look at the average rainfall for November. You know, most of this rain actually fell just a few days ago.
Yeah,
we got a lot of rain. So as you were just mentioning, Mickey, over 5.5 inches of rainfall in Birmingham. Tuscaloosa picked up 5 inches of rainfall, so a little bit of a surplus there.
Anniston's still a little below normal. You can see 4.5 inches, typically what they see in the month of November, but only 2.7. So how are we looking?
They're looking pretty wet. This is what happened over the past 5 days. Southeast, obviously, very wet. You start seeing those yellow and orange colors. We're talking about rainfall totals over the past 5 days, easily 3 to 5 inches.
Let's zoom in. You can see the red area showing 4 inches of rain. We had some of our weather watchers reporting 5 or 6 inches of rain, almost 7 inches of rain in some locations.
Yeah, very impressive. Almost 4 inches of rainfall in Alabaster. Tuscaloosa, about 3 inches of rain there. A little bit farther to the south, still had a decent amount, but not as much rainfall as what we saw north of Interstate 20.
So if you were wondering about a leak in your roof, I bet you found out.
There you go. So that's a look at those totals across the state. Of course, the drought monitor was just issued this morning, so I just want to give you an update. Still looking at a lot of drought across the country, Mickey. Maybe the East Coast seeing decent conditions in regards to rainfall, but very dry across the central United States going to the western U.S.
But as we zoom into the southeast, it's a little drier down towards Montgomery, central Alabama. Not so much in our neck of the woods, but South Alabama looking okay. But you get south, or we'll get into Chilton County southward, and it's a little bit dry.
Yeah, it's not as dry though as it is to the north. You see that moderate drought has expanded across a good bit of central Alabama. Now I will note this, Mickey, this drought monitor was actually created a few days ago, so I don't think it's taken into account the rain that we saw about 48 hours ago.
Okay.
So this could change as we go into next week, and I think it will change. But you can see the contrast from early September. We were in great shape, and then last week you saw the moderate drought. Compared to this week, it's definitely expanded where most of us seeing that. In fact, a severe drought developing in North Alabama. So.
Okay. Well, let's hope we get some more rainfall, especially in some of those areas. Potential rainfall totals. Let's look at that map.
Yeah, we're looking at rain across the western U.S. where they could use some. And as you can see, going into the next several days, we're looking at a decent amount of rainfall impacting the southeast and the east coast. So,
I don't think we'll see dramatic amounts of rain, but it's just kind of a wet weather pattern. We're talking Saturday, Sunday, going into Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, so that's pretty common. Like I said, December starts getting wet. We see more opportunities to see some rain across the southeast.
I think we're almost done.
We are done, Mickey.
We are?
Yeah.
Well, hey, you can always tune into your First Alert weather app. Do we need to throw that in there too?
You just did.
Okay.
So there we go.
I thought that was going to be our last graphic.
And yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Well, we're not going to show that. Whatever you do, don't show that graphic. Okay, go ahead and show it. Yeah.
I'll push the button. It didn't work.
Didn't work. Well, we're not going to show it then.
Have a great Thursday, everybody.
All right, bye.
Or I guess Friday.
Oh, it is Thursday night. We are not quite at Friday just yet, but this past week, as Matt and Mickey were noting, we have certainly had some volatile weather here in Alabama, and the National Weather Service has been going out and conducting damage surveys for the tornadoes that we did have occur Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. I'm now joined by meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, we have been getting in some of those reports from the National Weather Service. What are the updates on the categories of these tornadoes?
Yes, absolutely. And like you just mentioned, there were some fatalities. So unfortunately, there was a tornado that went through one of the areas or part of Alabama that did indeed cause 2 fatalities, but we'll get into those details in just a little bit. But here are the updates for the confirmed tornadoes that wiped through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. This is what we saw and what we've came out with the National Weather Service. So Utah Oak Village, well, that tornado made landfall just before 10 p.m. Tuesday night, and this was an EF1 tornado with sustained winds, with peak winds at about 110 miles per hour. The second tornado that made landfall was on Tutwiler Road. That was in Walker County, and that made landfall as an EF0 with peak winds at 65 miles per hour. Not as strong as the other one, but this one happened in the middle of the night, so probably really hard to see. I mean, it was earlier in the morning. And then this one was just outside of our viewing area that resulted in 2 fatalities and made lots of damage, caused lots lots of damage in the area of Flatwood, Willow Springs, and this is in Elmore and Montgomery counties, with the EF2 making landfall with peak winds at 120 miles per hour. And then last but not least, the New Quarter Road tornado made landfall in about Elmore County, and that was also in the middle of the night, and that made landfall as an EF1 tornado with peak winds at about 110 miles per hour. So yeah, those strong storms that made its way through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning did indeed cause lots of damage. If you were out, you probably saw the heavy rain as you were on the roads, and then not only that, strong winds were very applicable at that time too. Very windy night, and I know I was leaving the gym and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my umbrella? Hello, I was running, other people were running. So I knew next time to bring my umbrella. Listen, if there's heavy rain or severe storms, you know, you can trust us to give you the latest updates on all that, and I think that our team did a great job at bringing that coverage, that team coverage. You and Wes did a phenomenal job. I know that you were up late hours,
yes.
But listen, I bet it was worth it, right?
It was. We are so honored to have this position. I mean, we better be covering it right. If there are 7 of us, might as well get the job done, right?
Absolutely.
And it is truly, meteorologists never ever bring their rain jacket or umbrella. I don't know. So Tania, I totally relate to you. We never take our own advice. Ever,
exactly.
ever.
I'll learn
but
next
listen
time.
to us anyway, okay? Do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly.
Right?
I love that advice.
Well, thank you, Tania. And coming up, we'll have a final look at that 7-day forecast right after the break.
If your shower or bath looks like this, it's time for an upgrade. Hey everybody, Joe here with BJ Wurzen, owner of West Shore Home, to talk about how West Shore is evolving the customer experience to provide seamless remodeling projects to homeowners all across America. BJ.
Joe, we know a lot of people are looking to knock out some remodeling projects before the holidays get here, but the busyness of those holidays can really slow down those plans. So I want to let everybody know they can get those projects done right now, and it won't be a big disruption to their life.
Well, BJ, how are you doing that?
So everything we do is designed to be fast, easy, and convenient for our customers. And it all starts with that initial call. Pick up the phone and call the number on the screen right now. It'll be answered by a live representative. They'll be able to answer all your questions about the shower bath project, but more importantly, find a time to have one of our design consultants come out to the home for that free in-home consultation. We even do evening and Saturday appointments to make it most convenient for the homeowner.
In that design consultation, that's where the homeowner chooses the styles and options to create a bath space that they're really going to love.
Right, we'll bring out one of these and let them design the bath of their dreams. They want to move forward. We have multiple financing options designed to fit any family's budget. And the best part is we have instant credit decisioning.
So no waiting, they'll know on the spot whether they're approved. Okay, how about financing offers? Do you got something special for us today?
We have something really special right now that we're doing just for the holiday season. It's going to be 18 months with no payments and no interest. That means you don't have to make a payment on this project until after next holiday season. And for a limited time, we're going to do free installation on all shower and bath projects.
Again, no worries about making a single payment until 18 months after the project is installed. That's incredible. BJ, thanks so much, folks. Shower and bath remodeling has never been easier. Call West Shore Home now and take advantage of this great offer. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Call in now to get 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. Plus, you heard BJ, for a limited time, West Shore Home is doing free installation on all shower and bath projects. This is an offer you do not want to miss. Call West Shore Home now.
Extra meteorologist Lauren Lenahan taking one last look at that 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, just a 20% of potentially some isolated showers, especially areas north of I-2059. Most of us should be dry, a few more clouds moving back in throughout the day. And notice it's going to be warmer. Yes, we start off with temperatures in the 30s, so going to be a little chilly, but definitely a warming trend going into Saturday, and also a chance for some rain showers on Saturday morning. By Sunday, it gets a little bit cooler again, but then we see a warming trend going into next week, and along with that, a more unsettled weather pattern. So if you need to get any yard work done this weekend, need to rake some of those leaves, goodness knows the storms that came through blew a lot of leaves off of the trees. I would honestly say definitely check in on the First Alert weather app. So though no day is going to be a washout, raining all day long, these off and on waves of rain, you'll just kind of have to plan around that. And if you haven't put up your holiday decorations too, and if you got to do some shopping, because it is December 1st and we know Christmas will be here before we know it. 24 days away to be exact. But you can catch us here on Weather Extra again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Friday. We're almost there. Check back here at 6:30. I'm meteorologist Lauren Lenahan. Have a safe and happy Thursday evening.